What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from MTGheadquarters.com, and I'm going through all my various decks, and this deck tech is a modern Infect build. Of all the modern decks, I have 3 of them. I have Aura Hexproof, Infect, and Mono Red Burn. Infect is by far the most fun to play. It's not even close. And the way it pilots it fits really good to my style, my personal style. And I always say, when you're building a constructed deck, it's best to try to match it to your personal style, and you'll have more fun playing and you'll win more games. Now, if what your personal style is just not competitive, well, that's different. That's a different story, right? But let's go through the land base as modern decks. Every single card in the deck must do something. We have 1 Dryad Arbor, 4 Breeding Pools, 2 Forest, 4 Inkmoth Nexus, and this card is extremely relevant because it's a land. It avoids a lot of removal spells, and it can become a 1/1 flying infect creature, which is subject to all your basically the way this deck works is you get a few infect creatures out, and then you just pump the hell out of them. We've got 4 Misty Rainforest, 2 Pendelhavens, which is great. You want to be careful when you're doing your spells, right? So you can tap it, target 1/1 creature gets +1/+2. So it's great for like Blighted Agent, Glistener Elf, I think too. Yep, things like that. And 4 Verdant Catacombs. So the most expensive part of this deck is going to be your fetches and your Noble Hierarchs. In terms of 0 drops, we've got Gitaxian Probe, which is great. Look at their hand, draw a card. I mean, why not? You don't really worry about your life total in this game because you want to get your infect creature out and you want to just hit them. Most of the time, I win. If I win, it's with like 1 or 2 attacks. It's not like you're not pinging them for 1 little infect point every turn. Then you've got Distortion Strike, 3 of them. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked. And now remember, this is sorcery speed. So what you want to do is a lot of times you have like a Blighted Agent out, which is 1/1, and you might say, "Oh, I'm going to cast Distortion Strike quick." Wait, you don't want to do that. You want to activate your Pendelhaven first, make it bigger, then cast Distortion Strike. So it's all about the order you do things in. That's where a lot of the synergies of this deck come in. Then you've got 4 Mutagenic Growth, which is absolutely great. You can pay 2 life to give a creature +2/+2, or you can pay with a single green if you want. I almost always pay with life. Just do. 1 Birds of Paradise, 4 Glistener Elf, 4 Groundswell, which is excellent. The 2/2 is for 1 is fine, but the landfall is where you cast it more often. If you play land, it gets +4/+4 for 1, which is ridiculous. You've got Might of Old Kroza. It gets 2/+2 till end of turn. If you cast this spell during your main phase, the creature gets +4/+4 instead. Also, you almost always want to use it if you can to get 4 out of it. Then we've got a playset of Noble Hierarch. This card is just too good not to play. There are budget builds of this Infect deck out there that just don't include Noble Hierarch that are still very competitive. So, I mean, by far your fetch lands and your Noble Hierarch are where you're spending your money. But there's a couple cards on the sideboard that are kind of spendy too, but they're not a must-have. But if you're like tier 1 or whatever, if you're like hyper competitive, it does give you a pretty saucy advantage. Not only can you tap it for various mana, but it's also exalted, which will make your single infect creature that you're kind of crashing in with each turn a little bit bigger. It matters. It's good enough. I've also, on stream, actually won a game with Noble Hierarch and taken somebody to 0, not winning with infect. So alternate win con. Then you've got 4 Vines of Vastwood. Very good. You can So basically, what you want to keep one of these, you want to keep your green mana up if you're going for the kill shot. A lot of times, when you're playing this deck, you might be swinging in, and you just like going like completely all out. You're casting like a mutagenic growth, a groundswell. You know, you're just pumping it like crazy. You're activating Penalhaven, you know, and you're swinging in with like a 9/9 Blighted Agent. What you want, before you do that, patience is the key with this deck. You really want to keep up something like Vines of Vastwood, because it's like gives you creature hexproof basically, and then if you kick it, it gets +4/+4, even better, right? Now if they're tapped out, great. Then you kick it, and you kick it, then you kick it. You know what I mean? Blighted Agent, very, very good. Obviously, Infect and can't be blocked. This is your all-star. Apostle's Blessing is good. Target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of choice. So it's just to protect your Infect creature. Again, because these are not enchantments, these are spells to pump it up. If you blow your spells and then they bounce your creature, I mean, you will probably lose that game. I'm just saying. If you just go all out and you're trying to do like 8 Infect points on one swing, you better make sure you leave mana up to protect your creature, or you wait till they're tapped out. Here's another great Infect creature. It's extra valuable because it can destroy an artifact when it enters the battlefield. And then you have 3 of the Viridian Corruptor, 4 Blooded Agent, and 1 Wild Defiance. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of an instant or sorcery spell, that creature gets +3/+3 till end of turn. This card almost never does work for me and probably should come out of my main board, but I haven't done any work on this deck in a few weeks. So then we go to the sideboard. We've got Dispel, obvious reasons. Dismember is very, very good, at least in MTGO. There's a couple of variances that you can make with your sideboard, especially your sideboard is so important in Modern. I mean, I don't want to say it's more important in one deck than another, but with Infect, you're taking this like alternate path, and you really got to prepare for a wide variety of things, which is good, and you want to have a diverse sideboard. But it's also playing Infect is kind of an advantage in that you don't really care what else is going on. You just want to get your 10 Infect points on and move on to game 2. But you do have a couple extra Wild Defiance in the sideboard. The Dismember for removal. Nature's Claim, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very good. Obviously, if they are holding down one of your Infect creatures, you need to free it. We've got a couple Hunt the Hunter. And then you've got a little more spendy card with a Spell Skype. Change a target of a target spell or ability to Spell Skype. So it's very good in terms of protecting your creatures. That's what this deck is about. You win when you attack with like 4 open mana and you just pump your 1/1 to like a 6/6, and then you leave enough mana up to protect it. Most often with this particular Modern Infect build, in my experience, you plan 2 attacks. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to do 2 attacks of 5 poisoned counters and just win. So I always want to keep up, whether it's an Apostle's Blessing or a Vines of Vastwood. You must protect your creatures. Now, if you tapped out, let's say you cast a Blighted Agent on turn 2 and it's turn 3 and you don't have any pump spells, and you want to just swing away with a 1/1 and do 1 point, great, fine. But when you don't win that way often. You don't often win doing 10 attacks with a 1/1, right? You pump it up. So you always want to keep mana up or be patient and wait to protect it with the Vines of Vastwood, because you only have so many creatures in this deck. The Blighted Agent is very good. I try to protect him the most. Some of these other ones, like Glistener Elf, or even Noble Hierarch, I care much less about. But it's a fun way to win, alternate win condition. It's a little spicy. There are budget builds out there without Noble Hierarch, without the fetch land, so you could build a nice little modern deck for under $50 probably, and you definitely win some games. I think if you want to win tournaments, it definitely needs the Noble Hierarch. It definitely needs the fetch lands because you need to thin your deck. You don't really have any card draw engine other than Gitaxian Probe, which is only a single card. This nice thing with Distortion Strike too, I forgot it had Rebound. So you get good value out of it. But this is what I run for Modern Infect. I have the most fun running this. This has been my first modern deck tech. Again, this is built off it's like a boilerplate Infect deck. I worked with people on stream, which is twitch.tv/MTG headquarters, to work out the sideboard a little bit. That's why you see Dismember there, which is a little bit different than maybe what you've seen, but it definitely helps online. But I have a lot of fun with this deck. I hope you guys are enjoying these modern and standard and hopefully legacy soon deck techs. You can always watch me play these decks live on stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, twitch.tv/MTG headquarters. I'd love to have you there hanging out. And I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, check out some of our most popular playlists from MTG vlogs, sick gameplay videos, new product breaks, and some insane vintage openings. I upload 3 to 4 new Magic the Gathering videos every week, so if you haven't already, please take a moment to crush that subscribe button to join one of the fastest growing Magic the Gathering channels on YouTube. Talk to you later.